The Aukey USB charger can charge compatible devices 4 times faster with its 2 Quick Charge 3.0 ports and can charge up to 10 USB devices at once. Click the link in the description to find out more.
Skip it up and that up.
Hey, mainstream media and the ignorant people who don't understand the gaming industry, I got some breaking news for you. It's been proven again that gamers aren't just basement-dwelling weirdos. I know, shocking, right? Even though it's been proven over and over again, Microsoft just proved it again. But don't worry, I'm sure the survey that Microsoft conducted will be ignored and people will continue to ignorantly believe that people who play video games are basement-dwelling weirdos still. So don't worry, the mainstream media will continue to be blindly ignorant and blame video games for all the world's problems, because it's easy to do that, right? So Microsoft did some of their own research, and these are like internal Microsoft documents that Windows Central got their hands on, and it shows what demographics are playing Xbox. Now, the information that I'm quoting here is coming right from the GameSpot article because there's a bunch of numbers and statistics and I don't want to misread them or give misinformation. If you want to check out the full article, I'll have a link to it below in the description. Based on the responses of 2,000 gamers in the US, the documents distributed to development partners to help them understand the audience better show that the 58% of Xbox gamers are male compared to the 42% female. Now, this is the part that always cracks me up because you always hear people saying who don't game, or like I said on the mainstream media, that it's either little kids that game or grown men weirdos. But here, the 25 to 34 age bracket is the biggest at 28%, followed by 35 to 44, 23%. And it's weird, as you get younger, you would think this bracket would be the biggest I'm about to say, but it's not. 18 to 24 is only 18%. Now, this one surprises me. 45 to 54 is 15%, 13 to 17, 10%, which again, you would think that would be bigger, but it's not. And 55 to 65 makes up a surprising, it may seem low, but to me, I'm actually surprised it's high, 6%. So now I can picture all the detractors saying, oh yeah, well, they may be adults, but I bet they live at home with their parents and they're single and they don't make any money, right? Yeah, those gamers, they're not productive. They're not productive at all. I got some bad news for you. 45% of respondents said that they live with their spouse, followed next by 23% said they live with their parents. In terms of household income, 21% made $50,000 to $75,000 per year, and another 21% said they made $75,000 to $100,000 per year. Those were the highest in terms of percentages. So not only are a lot of Xbox gamers productive members of society who have significant others, they're making that cash money. Oops, did facts and statistics hurt your feelings? I'm sorry. Now let's keep it real. Microsoft didn't put this internal survey together to white knight for the gaming community. They did it so they could send this data out to game developers so the game developers could target their games towards these demographics. But it still proves my point, the point I've been making over and over again for years, that has been based on facts and statistics. Grown men and women play video games. Productive members of society play video games. People that have husbands, that have wives, that actually have social skills play video games. And guess what? They are the majority, not the minority. But there's 2 reasons that I could think of that these statistics, these facts are ignored. One is that when people think of video games, they think of like the 80s and 90s and the stereotypes that came from those days where all the commercials were targeted towards kids because kids were the demographic back then. Basically, video games grew up with my generation, okay? When I was a kid, they targeted the commercials towards kids. When I grew up, they targeted the commercials towards adults because we're still the gamers. But people still think of the 80s and 90s with the cheesy Play It Loud from Nintendo commercials and the Sega commercials, Welcome to the Next Level, and how it was like towards kids and teens, the ads. And that's what they think of. They think of, oh, you know, that's the demographic that plays video games. Young kids, and if you're an adult and you play them, you're probably a bit of a weirdo. But that's not true. That's not true. This is not the first statistic that's been done or survey that's been done that's proven that that's not true. Secondly, because the gaming industry and video games are still relatively young, the mainstream media likes to use them as a cop-out, as an excuse, because especially when you watch like Fox News or MSNBC or whatever the case may be, they have an older demographic that watches them. If I took a shot for every time I said demographic in this video, I think I'd be blackout drunk, but you get my point. Because they're older, and a lot of times that older age, I don't want to use that word again, the older people don't play video games, they don't understand them. So when something horrible happens and the news wants to blame that horrible thing on something, let's blame it on something that no one understands because it's a good cop-out. Let's blame video games. And we've seen it time and time again. I've seen news stories where they try to shoehorn in video games and use them as an excuse. So look, for the people out there who don't understand video games, don't care about video games, that's fine. You don't have to. But stop trying to put this fake stereotype and this fake stigma on the people that play video games, because as this survey from Microsoft proves, this internal research they've done and other countless surveys that I've made videos on in the past before have proven normal, productive people, both male and female, play video games. Get over it. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.